What's up, y'all? Welcome to Dr. Divine Roots Tarot. I am the Queen of Tarot, back with another message from the other side. I am the High Priestess, the Supreme Witch, the Divine Feminine, God's only chosen reader. Don't you forget that. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this video, and turn on all notifications, okay? So let's jump in. If you are ready to heal your inner child, the links to my products are in the description below. All right. So we already got started. And heavy on Divine Feminine. Okay. There is someone who is very ashamed that they wanted things to be their way. Okay. They are dealing with an extreme amount of guilt. They are very embarrassed and they know that they were in the wrong. Okay. They're ashamed that they're falling down. Okay. They're ashamed that they wanted their way. Okay, they're ashamed that they were selfish with Divine Feminine. They are ashamed that they were stubborn, that they were arrogant, and that they were in their pride and ego with Divine Feminine. Okay. Was this like this? And the secrets about them being ashamed of what they've done to Divine Feminine and about them wanting their way and being selfish with Divine Feminine are coming out. Okay. They are ashamed because it is being illuminated to them. Okay. The truth is coming out. They're discovering what they were doing to Divine Feminine, how they were treating her. Okay, they are awakening to what they were doing. It is being very illuminated. The light is being shined very bright on this situation with this person. Okay, they are heavy on ashamed with how they have treated the Divine Feminine. Okay, heavy on round and round. All right, this cycle is round and round. There are lessons that they have to learn. Okay, they are being triggered, and it is just going round and round and round. Okay, they are being reminded of every single time that they backstab the Divine Feminine. They are being reminded of every time that they caused pain, every time that they cheated, every time that they were deceptive, every time that they played mind games, every time that they were love bombing Divine Feminine. They had her on a cycle and they were just repeatedly doing these things to Divine Feminine. Okay, so now karma has come to collect. And these things are now happening to this person. They are now on this round and round cycle of being backstabbed, okay, of being in pain, of being cheated on, okay, of being deceived, of people playing mind games with them, and of them being love bombed in this situation. But the Divine Feminine's God, her spiritual team, they are heavy on illuminating, shining the light on all of their toxic behaviors, and reminding them of how they dealt with the Divine Feminine when they were in her energy. Okay, this person is getting readings, okay, on the Divine Feminine. All right, because they no longer have access to her, because they can no longer get any of her energy, because she is got their ass blocked. She's not talking to them. She doesn't want to talk to them. Okay, they can't get through on the phone. All right, they're ashamed. They're embarrassed. They know that they were in the wrong, and this is a round and round cycle. Okay, they are now, all they can do to find out what, or attempt to find out what's going on with Divine Feminine, is get readings. So they are spending a great deal of money on on readings. Okay, heavy on GPS. Okay, location, mirroring, and massive regrets. Okay, so they're looking in the mirror. Okay, they're looking for the divine feminine. Okay, they have lots of regrets. Looking in the mirror, they're looking in the mirror, and they have massive regrets for what they have done to the divine feminine. Okay, GPS is when you're trying to find, like you're looking for a location. Okay, so GPS is when you're trying to find your way. Okay, when you need directions. So they're looking for some direction here. All right. They're looking for what way they need to go. They're looking for a way to get away from this pain, to deal with it. And they're in deep regret about what they've done. They're in deep regret about what they've done. The divine has stepped in and really made them, they're looking for themselves. Okay, they're looking in the mirror and they're looking for themselves because they deeply regret. And they're very ashamed of how they treated the divine feminine. Like, my voice is cracking up right now. Like, they feel horrible. Okay? So they are in search of themselves. Okay? The universe, their karma has found them. Okay, and their karma is making them look at themselves. They were looking for something outside of their family. Okay, they were looking for something outside of the divine feminine when they ran into her. All right, family and under pressure. Okay, and they found what they was looking for. Okay, they found out that they needed to look in the mirror, and that they need to look at themselves. All right, family is under pressure. Okay, they have a great deal of anxiety. They have decisions to make. Time is running out for them. Okay. So this person is looking for their family now. Okay. They're looking for their family. And they're under a great deal of pressure. Okay. So there's someone here who is looking for their family. And their family is divine feminine. Okay, but they didn't know how to treat divine feminine when they were in her energy. And then there are people in divine feminine's family who are ashamed of how they have treated her because the light is being shed on it. All right, they are all getting readings and trying to find out what the divine feminine has going on because they no longer have access to her. Okay, but heavy on the family is under pressure. Okay, they are being forced to find the mirror and look into it. And in doing so, they have massive regrets. They are ashamed that they wanted it their way because they are on this cycle of karma on repeat. Okay, off and on, hot and cold, detached and ghosted. Okay, so they ghosted. There's one person in here who ghosted the divine feminine. Okay, he was very detached from her. All right, but the divine feminine has now ghosted him and them. Okay, is what I'm hearing. So, and her family as well, they ghosted her too. When she needed them the most, they were not there. Everybody turned their backs on her when she, when her back was against the wall and she needed help. After she had done help everybody, there was nobody there for her. Okay, they were all hot and cold. Okay, they were detached. They all ghosted her. Just like this guy here in this situation who is going through the same thing that this family is going through. Okay, he was very detached with the divine feminine. He was very hot and cold. He ghosted her. So now that the divine feminine has ghosted all of them, they are being forced to look in the mirror. All right, they're being forced to find the mirror and look at themselves and see the things within themselves that are fucked up. Okay, the things that they did. All right, they're being forced to look at how many times you backstabbed her. Okay, look at how many times you caused her pain. Look at how many times you deceived her and played mind games, and how many times you love bombed her. So don't be mad now that she decided to ghost you because of how the fuck you was treating her. Like, she found herself. She realized, like, look, I'm not getting ready to keep letting you motherfuckers treat me like this. If you don't value me while I'm here, I'm gonna make you value my motherfucking absence. So that's what she did. She ghosted everybody, and now everybody don't know what the motherfucking do. Okay, now everybody getting readings because they trying to find out what the fuck divine feminine got going on. They might be trying to find out what she got on too. But damn, the nigga in here is trying to find out what does divine feminine have on right now. Like, he's having sexual desires as well. But they trying to figure out too how divine feminine got on. How she went up and got up. But there's a whole lot of people in the background that are worried about the divine feminine, and they're heavy on getting readings on her, okay, and trying to see what the fuck is going on in her life. But they're not going to be able to see. Nobody's going to be able to see what divine feminine is got going on, because she has closed that goddamn, made sure that none of these motherfuckers can't find out what the fuck I got going on, okay? And they all are in deep regret. And they all are under pressure. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. I really appreciate you stopping by. Let me know what you think about this situation. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on all notifications. Okay, we out.